what's up, my peeps? I have some really cool news to announce, and because of this, I've decided to do a whole 30-day event with the building up of where I'm going. So, I'm a guest of Tony Robbins in New York!
Tony has inspired so many, 50 million people and counting, including Bill Clinton, Serena, who he said he called after that big victory, Oprah as well, to tap into their inner power. Now he's the subject of Joe's new documentary, Tony Robbins, I Am Not Your Guru.
Bro, authenticity will lead to a rich life. Life is always happening for us, not to us. Yeah.
What?
Come on down, he's on down the road.
What? Okay, wait, okay. Woo. Okay, yes. He wrote me a message saying how he was deeply touched of how I changed my life so many years ago with his book, Awaken the Giant Within. And I'm going to be discussing this over the next 30 days because one thing I realized when I got this message was I couldn't even sleep for 2 nights. I was so excited, and I have been in autopilot for so long, living my vision, manifesting great things in my life. I had to think to myself like, oh my God, what if Tony Robbins asked me a few questions? What did I do? So I went all the way back from when I was 25 years old in a shelter with 3 kids, and basically I was po. I mean, worse than poor, I was po. And I felt like everybody had turned their back on me. I felt alone, I felt depressed, I felt like, that my life was at a standstill. I was 285 pounds, I had pimples all on my face, I was toxic, I was eating red meat and pork, I had a really unhealthy diet, eating processed foods, I had no car, I had lost everything, and here I was in a shelter. And I remember the cot shelter used to keep Oprah Winfrey show on, and there was all these fantastic, amazing, thought-provoking, motivational speakers and authors who was on the show. And so there was my first connection to healing and understanding how to heal and learning how to heal myself, because I wasn't in counseling and I had a lot of deep issues, internal deep things within me that I had to release and get rid of and remove the blocks to move my life forward. After watching the Oprah show, there was this secondhand bookstore, or it was called secondhand bookstore, that was right next to Cots, and then Anthony Robbins' book, Awaken the Giant Within. And at the time in that book, in that first chapter was, it is my decisions that determine my destiny and not my circumstances or my situations. It is my decisions that I make this far forward. And I was in such dire straits that if I didn't have children, I would have committed suicide because I felt like I'm not worthy. I didn't have no self-esteem. I mean, it wasn't low self-esteem. I had none. And I remember that first chapter changed my life. And Tony has a way of writing that he asks you the questions. He makes you do the work. He makes you ask yourself the questions. He gives you the homework to do. It took me 8 months to read that book because it was a lot of information in it that I had never heard, that I wasn't ever exposed to. I didn't have mentors like that telling me I was worthy. I didn't have people in my life that told me I was loved and that I was cared for. I didn't hear things like that. I just didn't hear things like that. And so he had space in the book where I wrote down 100 things that I wanted to accomplish over the next 5 years. And 5 years later, when I turned 30, and I looked at that book again to read it again, I had accomplished all of them except for about 6 of them. So 94 things I had accomplished. And I was amazed. I was so amazed. I was so happy. I was so grateful that I celebrated a whole entire year. At a point in my life and a position in my life that I can give more, I can share more, I can help, and it feels good. It's been a long time coming. It feels good. And I'm going to share with you some of the things that I've learned through the years. And so come on with me, and I'm going to be posting. Tell me what you think, and hopefully I can give you some inspiration if you're going through some things in your life as well. Some of the experiences I have, maybe you can see correlations in your life so that you can rise above them. And I am here to help you go on this journey with me. And yes, I got some surprises. And so I'm going to be sharing those things with you because I'm going to New York to see Tony unleash the power within. I don't know what I'm about to do now. So I'm gonna get